Good morning, everyone. Aja here from Garden Days. Today is going to be a random day in the garden. We have some odds and ends to do. And the first thing that we have to get done is fill our rainwater tank. Unfortunately, we didn't have as much snow this winter. And we did get 2 huge rainstorms, but not enough to fill up the tanks. And the monsoon season won't start until the end of July. So we're going to go ahead and take our tank and fill our rainwater catchment. Oh, they started carrying garden soil. I'll have to ask and see how much it is. Doesn't look like they've got a lot of supplies, though. They definitely have plumbing and supplies in here, though. Jeff picked up some heavy-duty gardening gloves. Oh, you got 2 here. Oh, those look good. They're like, they have the leather. Yeah, but these will probably last the longest.
The only thing is they're lined, so
right.
They're going to get hot in the sun.
Okay, we're gonna go grab some water. They had a lot more gardening supplies, even fertilizer. So instead of running all the way to Flagstaff, which is an hour away, I just need something small, then I'll just go there. Last season, we were fortunate enough to have our friend's trailer, and we could use our 275s and fill those up. So it was much quicker to fill up our water tank. But we are back to the truck and the 200-gallon tank. And this is how we used to do it before the trailer. Jeff was able to pick up 2 more loads, which made 3 loads total. Now, normally we have snow melt and the tank gets pretty full. Not this season, but the season before we had 22 snowstorms. So it had filled this tank completely up in the winter. We did have a couple snowstorms and it was able to fill up this water barrel, which is for our outdoor shower. Unfortunately, I had installed this setup last season and it has a drain plug here. But with the cold temps and the water pressure, it had pushed it out. So we didn't collect any of that snowfall. I had mentioned that in a previous video, and I'm going to change that setup. But for now, since we don't have the freezing cold temps, I'm going to leave it until the end of the season, and then I'll change it out before the winter. But luckily, this season, we're supposed to be getting monsoon weather earlier, and that'll be nice because hopefully it will help keep this tank filled up and we won't have to fill it as often or at all, depending on how wet this monsoon season is. I do have a drip system throughout the garden, but there's some things that I need to change and some plants that have died. So I did purchase plugs that are supposed to be in tomorrow, and we're gonna plug up some stuff. So for now, I'm just gonna cut the drip system off and I'm going to hand water everything. I was able to weed some and get this all watered in, and I can tell that certain plants need more water because they're looking a bit dry. That one actually broke, so that needs to come off. This one looks very spindly, so I'm going to give that more water. The nasturtium that I planted is doing well, but the borage died off. Same thing with this nasturtium. It's doing well. That borage died off, and I was able to put some wildflowers here. Hopefully they'll pop up. I just watered them in. I was able to do the same thing in this spot last season, but the only things that were able to come up was this Mexican hat. There's a blue flower here. I think it might be phlox. I'm not sure. And then a little pink flower right there. So cute. There's something growing here too, but I have no idea what that is. The lilies definitely look like they need more water, and I have been giving them more water. They're getting ready to bloom. Through here, I spread in more wildflowers, and at the edge of the garden bed all the way to here, these are the wildflowers that I spread. Just a little packet of the perennial mixture. And also I added in these beautiful nasturtiums. They're all different colors. These are different from the ones I showed you. So I added some of those there because there was nothing here. And then where all the rocks are, because I had borage planted there, but they didn't survive. I think I'll just broadcast more seed. I have more wildflowers over here. This was an annual packet. And these three here I'm going to grow in pots so I can control them better. There's the Rudbeckia, Viola, and Echinacea. I guess I can show you an update on the tomatoes. They're starting to get some growth on them. The pepper was stunted just because it got that frost. And the tomatillo is looking really good. Looks like it's getting ready to get some flowers on it and fruit. I definitely have to do some more weeding in the new area, but I'm not going to tackle that yet, and also get to this row here. But all in all, everything is done. That row back there, I need to replace plants, and the next time I go to town, I'll do that, and then I'll cut the watering system back on for this garden. Weeds, weeds. I had started some cucumbers from seed and then planted them out here, but unfortunately something came by and snipped the tops of them, so I had to just replant some more seeds, and hopefully those will come up. When they start to come up, I am going to take a basket and cover them, so that way that won't happen again until they get a bigger size. In between the tomatoes, I planted some nasturtium, and some of them had died off, so I just reseeded those. I was really lucky with my tomatoes. Only one died off, and it was probably because of that cold snap that we had. I covered them, but this one just didn't do well. So I'm replacing it with a San Marzano. So I've had these seeds for probably over a year now, so I want to go ahead and get them planted in. I'm not sure if they're still viable, but I thought I'd plant them along this kind of cattle panel and also drip line there. And if they come up, they come up. If they don't, then that's okay too. But I want to get them planted. I also spread some borage through here, and I'll just let it come up by itself, hopefully. I think I'll do 2 or 3 per hole. There we go. Jimmy's been mowing some of the taller grass, but there's definitely plenty more to do. Unfortunately, one of the batteries got stuck. I have this Craftsman brushless electric mower, and it works much better than the old one. But yeah, one of the batteries got stuck. It was the button that releases it, so I had to take some pliers and get that off, and it works, so I'm glad that's off. And Jeff just ordered some new batteries for it as well. I'm going to get in here and clean this out before we put the new batteries in. We're going to get the old batteries charged. We wanted 2 sets. That way, one would be ready when the other one is charging. Remember, if you were a little cow, you could just eat the grass. You wouldn't have to worry about mowing it. I just wanted to get that little area and pathway cleaned out, which I did, so I'm glad that's done. decided to take a break, run into town to grab some ice cream. It is getting a bit warm. Today's supposed to be in the 80s, which, yeah, it's not too hot, but we're higher elevation and the heat index is a bit extreme when you're up higher. So it tends to be warmer. Right, Kellogg? It tends to be warmer. Oh, look at vanilla ice cream. You gonna get some of that? We're gonna head back and enjoy our ice cream on the deck, and then I'll probably take an hour break. Hopefully it cools down. But it's only 1:30, so it's probably gonna get hotter. Looks like they're fixing our roads. It's big machinery there. We came back and took a break. Jeff was working on the fence out there. I'll show you that later. But I went inside and waited till it cooled off. It's about 5 o'clock now and it feels awesome. So I'm gonna get back to it. As I showed you, I watered the vegetable garden and this garden and those over there. So I have to do these gardens here and the one in the center, and I'll be done. Well, I didn't get everything done, but almost everything. I got this all watered in, and I need to replace a plant here. I didn't realize that I didn't actually clean this area this season. So that's what I did. I cleaned it and then watered everything in here. Watered all along through here and weeded. There was so much grass through here. And I made it around this way. Watered all this in. Then came around this corner here to water this in. And also weed some. There was just a few weeds through here. I got this watered in but not weeded. This is not even watered or weeded, so. But I'll come back tonight and water the rest of the plants in. And then in the next video, I'll get to weeding and cleaning up. There's just so much weeds. I was gone 2 weeks and it's amazing how much sprung up. So yeah, my friends are waiting on me. They want to go for a walk. So that's what I'm going to do now. I want to thank y'all for hanging out with me during this garden day. And we'll see you next time. Bye for now. Mwah.